Welcome to episode 6 of Location, 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 the series where we speculate on stage possibilities of various video game characters if they were added to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. If you want to know the rules of this series, be sure to watch previous episodes in this playlist to hear them. This episode is what I'm calling the PapaGenos Special, since these are all characters that PapaGenos himself has speculated about on his channel due to various rumors and leaks. In this video, we will be discussing them ourselves, but for their stage possibilities. Without further ado, let's get on to the characters. What's a PapaGenos themed episode without the main doll himself, Geno? If you're somehow a part of the Smash speculation community and still don't know who Geno is, let me give you a super brief overview. Geno is an original character made for the game Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars that released back in 1996 for the Super Nintendo, and hasn't been seen since outside of a one-time cameo in Mario & Luigi Superstar Saga. That was also retconned out of the remake of Superstar Saga, and a Mii costume in Smash 4. But he has become kind of the poster child for long-lost Nintendo characters that fans would like to see a return, particularly in Smash. So if Geno were to make a grand return, what stage would he bring? I mean, is there any other answer than the Forest Maze? The Forest Maze level is where Geno makes his grand entrance in the game to assist Mario and the team. The Forest Maze I could see working similar to the Gower Plain stage, big open stage with the enemy known as Bowyer attacking. The stage itself could be represented by the boss fight of Bowyer in the Forest Maze, up on that big tree stump, where Geno assists you for the first time. Will the infamous Star Warrior return once again to be on the Smash Bros. Battlefield? Only time will tell. I'm not gonna lie, I knew nothing of Arle or the Puyo series before the PapaGenos videos, where he discussed various rumors and speculation regarding the popularity of the Puyo series in Japan and how that could potentially lead to the character of Arle's inclusion in Smash. And honestly, even though I still really know nothing of the series, I'm all for it. The more wacky the fighters, the better. So after some deep dive of research for this video, Arle originally came from an RPG dungeon crawling game series called, wait, I'm gonna butcher this, Madao Monogatari, that released on early platforms like the Super Famicom and the Sega Saturn, and remade on the Game Gear, with a total of 7 games in the series. It in turn was the foundation for the Puyo games as a spin-off using many of the same characters from the dungeon crawling games. Arle was a lead for both series for many of the entries, but as of recently has taken a more side character position. Anyway, aside from the history lesson, I'm sure a stage with Arle's inclusion would come from the game that kind of made the character and the series a bit more well known, that being the Puyo and Tetris crossover game. One of the main locations in the game, and the series in fact, is a place called Primp Town, and in the crossover game, Primp Town is overrun with Tetris pieces. So a stage with interactable Tetris pieces to attack the players or used by the fighters to attack one another seems like a no-brainer, as the stage would represent both the Puyo series as well as Tetris, which we already have Tetris in the game represented with spirits. I know we're halfway through this video already, but I'm just gonna say it now. Every character in this video is from a game or franchise that I haven't played personally. When grouping up characters for these videos, I usually include one that I personally know or have played. This is not the case for this video. Anyway, moving on. Next up is Tales of Symphonia and its main character Lloyd Irving. Probably one of the longest running ones from the Smash community that isn't still in the game alongside the likes of Geno. The Tales of series has a very Final Fantasy style of games to where each entry is a new set of characters and world with rarely ever connections to other entries in the series. But Tales of Symphonia on the GameCube, much like Final Fantasy VII, is the standout from the series that has garnered the most attention and popularity. So much like Cloud getting in Smash, Lloyd has been pushed to the forefront to represent this JRPG franchise. I see the stage going along the lines of many of the other JRPG game stages that we have gone, like the Dragon Quest stage or the Final Fantasy stage. A floating platform possibly traveling across the region that the game takes place in. I'll just leave it at that and let the Tales of Symphonia fans deduce the rest and not make a fool of myself. Continuing with the series that I know very little about, Ninja Gaiden was one of those series that I didn't even know existed until the dawn of YouTube and the gaming community, that I started to learn about games that just completely flew under my radar. And from its legacy, it's honestly surprising this game and franchise has gone with no representation in Smash, especially because of its roots being so deep in Nintendo being on the NES. Though I guess I could see why, because ever since it left Nintendo as its main platform, it has never really had any presence outside of a port and a spin-off. But that shouldn't stop Hayabusa from coming to Smash. I would suspect Ninja Gaiden will get the Castlevania treatment of focusing on the classic NES titles, with both the Hayabusa design as well as choice of stage. And honestly, I'm gonna be real with you guys, I couldn't come up with anything. I tried the Hayabusa village, but that came from some of the later games, plus that didn't really have any gameplay or plot relevance. I tried the Airship of Doom from the original trilogy in the third game, but that was just more of a boss fight than a location to be on. I honestly couldn't come up with anything. Maybe just a stage based on one of the many levels within the original NES trilogy, but they are so unnamed it was hard to pick one. Fans of Ninja Gaiden, do me a solid and pick one of the more fan-favorite locations from the NES trilogy and finish this section for me. Well, this may be a series I haven't played yet, but it's one that I plan to soon. Though with the latest Devil May Cry 5 shifting its main character to Nero rather than Dante, I would assume and at least hope we get Dante as our Smash inclusion. If not, we would be doomed to repeat a past mistake made by others. It's safe to assume that the Dante we will get is the one from the original trilogy of games, much like Castlevania and probably Ninja Gaiden. Though with examples like now with Min Min and the Spring Stadium inclusion in Smash, the stages and characters don't have to be one for one. So while we would be getting Devil May Cry original trilogy Dante as the character, why not a stage from Devil May Cry 5, or at least its latest incarnation? The Devil May Cry 5 store has been seen throughout the series. Make it similar to the games and have the battle have a street brawl feel like in the games themselves while it taking place in front of the store, with no pitfalls to fall into, only dying from being flung to the side and up above like some of the Mario stages. Nico and her van could even come running in dropping off items like she does in Devil May Cry 5. And with episode 6 done, we are officially over halfway done with this series. What did you think? What would you alter or change completely? Make sure to leave your comments and suggestions down in the comment section down below, and be sure to like and subscribe for more content coming in the future. And if somehow you're watching my videos and you're not subscribed to PapaGenos and you like Smash Brothers speculation, I'll be sure to leave a link to his channel in the description of this video. Until then, see you next time.